Hello everyone, welcome to Green One Day at a Time. Today I'm going to show you what are the seedlings and how I care for them in the month of April. This is in my greenhouse, so you can see there is moss curled parsley, that is white pak choi, white stemmed pak choi, Swiss chard and some spinach. These are all early sown for early harvest and they will all go into the allotment very soon. This is peas and morge too. They're sown in a biodegradable cup so that I can plant them into the allotment without damaging their roots, and also they will be quite strong to withstand the pests and predators in the allotment. One problem I'm facing with the biodegradable cups is that they dry out too quickly and they absorb the water from the compost, making it really dry. So a solution I found is to put them in a shallow tray like here, and then keep the cups fairly moist so that they do not have the tendency to absorb water from the compost. So I pour water into the tray and let the cups absorb that water. That's the way I have found to work for me, at least. They'll go into the allotment as soon as the cold snap goes off. This is spring onion. So they will go into the allotment very soon, probably in a day or so, as an interplanting for Chinese cabbage. And these are the sweet peas. I've pinched them number of times and each pinching has resulted in more branching. So I want them thick and with lots of branches rather than one single stem. So the way to pinch them is to pinch the growing tip of each growing tip and let the plant send in more hormones to actually branch out. The spring onions are a companion plant for Chinese cabbage. So I've already planted the Chinese cabbage. I'm letting them settle into the soil and then I'll plant these in. Now this is another small plastic greenhouse which is inside my greenhouse. So I'm using it as a nursery, but mainly to protect the newly planted plants from slugs. I have slug problem inside the greenhouse. So these are the second sown cabbages, and the first sown cabbages, they were eaten by slugs with some damage, not completely eaten, and these are the lettuces. I didn't have a very good grow rate for lettuce. Now this is Kamastuna red. It's a kind of brassica, but you eat the leaves, and this is red and green pak choi. They are quite healthy. Again, these will go into the allotment as soon as the cold snap goes off. Now this is cauliflower, and they had quite a lot of slug damage, and that's why they are not really big and healthy like the calabres. The calabres needs to go into the allotment as soon as possible, maybe today. So they didn't have a lot of slug damage like the cauliflower, and so they are quite tall and quite healthy. Down here we have kohlrabi, multicolored beetroot and cylindrica beetroot. Beetroots are interplanting plants for the calabres, and kohlrabi will be planted along with Kamastuna red. So they are not ready to be transplanted now. This is kumquat. It's a citrus plant. I bought it recently in full fruit. It's quite sour at first instance, but then as you chew through, it will give or leave a very sweet aftertaste. It's my first time growing a citrus plant and it's in a pot, so I'm going to keep it in a pot and see how it fares. Now let's go inside on my windowsill. These are herbs. I'm doing an experiment on overseeding. So there is flat leaf parsley, there is red basil, sweet basil, thyme. All of these are overseeded, and then there is dill and coriander seeds. These are golden sunrise tomatoes. I've got quite a few of these. I had very good yield last year. It's a firm favorite of mine among these plants of tomatoes, varieties of tomatoes. This is Tiny Tom, and they will not grow very tall. They're very short growing variety. And this is a store-bought tomato which looked really like a beef tomato, so I've saved the seeds for it. These are indigo blueberries, again a cherry tomato variety, and they are deep blue color. Okra plants, they don't do very well transplanted, but I'm trying. And these are Roma tomatoes, again seeds saved from my last year's Roma tomato. This is a chili plant. It gives round chilies, and the seedlings for it needs to be transplanted. This is Indian vegetable. It's a kind of a snow peas, and that is celery. Celery, it's not yet ready to be transplanted. I'm waiting for the seedlings to open up to 2 true leaves, and then I'll transplant them into bigger pots. This one is a long tomato. I don't know the name of it. And another experiment, chocho, or I don't know what else you call it, but you should get the method is that you should get a shoot and the root from the top. So I'm trying whether I will get some. These are all seedlings seed sowing. This has got bitter gourd and chili, and this one has got yellow cherry tomato, yellow teardrop tomato, and impatiens on the other end. And this has got 2 other varieties of chilies, which are ornamental mixed and cayenne peppers or cayenne chilies. So I hope you enjoyed this video. These are all the seedlings I have in my greenhouse and on my windowsill. I do have a lot more chilies. That's for another day. Stay safe and see you soon in another one.